Hello my friends, unfortunately it's time for me to say that it's better to leave the Bakhmut city for Ukrainian soldiers because the situation dramatically changed, especially on the north from the city recently. So let's go to the city and you can see that Russian forces, or it's better to say Wagner forces, are very close to the supply line, which is the only supply line that Ukrainian forces now use for the Bakhmut city, and now it's in a gray area as you can see. Let's measure the distance. Let's put 1 point over here and one next. So a little bit more than 1 kilometer away from this road. So they can use artillery, mortars and everything to block Ukrainian supplies. And on the south we have the other movement of the Russian army, and they're also very close to the other road that goes from Ivanivske, and Ukrainian forces do not use this road for a long time because it's been bombed by the artillery systems of the Russian Federation. And you can see that Bakhmut is already partially encircled by the Wagner forces. Recently it was agreed with Prigozhin, by Prigozhin, that they will have more supplies for their army, so that dramatically changed the situation on the front lines. Before they got the problems with supplies, because of that Ukraine did the fantastic job in resistance, but now with new resources for Wagners this situation is very difficult. And recently Ukrainian army was able to blow up this dam over here, crossing the way for Russians to enter to the city, and they decided to go across the fields more to the west area over here and encircle the city. And I may say that they already partially cut Ukrainian supplies, and it's better to think how to withdraw our forces from the city. Unfortunately, for you to understand the dramatic change that happened in just 2 days, let's go to the timeline. So it was 2 days ago, and it was yesterday, and it is today. So vast advancement of the Russian forces on the south and especially on the north part. I got some of the comments. Yes, yesterday I performed some sort of the live stream, and one of the guys, he is Ukrainian, he commented like, "Dennis, you should not say that Wagner is capable." But my friends, they are the most capable force that Russia has. They have equipment, they have everything. And if I say like they're not capable, so we're also not capable, because here we are losing the ground to not capable forces? No, my friends, they're very capable. They have experience in Africa, Syria and many, and they still have lots of the prisoners that they just throw to the front lines. Yes, they do not hire nowadays the new prisoners, but still they have a lot of those and no one counts them. So they throw prisoners to the most difficult areas of the front lines and attack with the regular Wagner forces, with experienced forces from the flanks, and that is their tactics. And now regular Russian army helps them with artillery and everything, so I think that the situation will be very dramatic for Bakhmut, and in the Ukrainian publics I already see the notices that situation went to more difficult stage in that city. So I give around 80% that Wagner will be able to capture the city in March. However, I think it's gonna be their last goal that they were able to achieve in Ukrainian war, and soon Ukraine is going to start the counterattack, not here, because we don't need to fight with the most capable forces. No, we're gonna attack on the south as was announced by our intelligence, our chiefs, our president. And Kremlin now does everything to destabilize the situation in Moldova. They paid those people to go on pro-Russian marches. Luckily, they were just dismissed from the area. They actually blocked one of the main streets in Moldova, in Chisinau, very close to the central part. And we need to get the close eye on that stuff as well, because it could be the potential next hotspot outside Ukrainian territory, but including Ukrainian army. So those are the people in Moldova who support the Russian regime, let's say. Basically, hard to tell their activity, and I'm sure that they got paid, and basically you may see those people in a railway station, then they usually lying down totally drunk. And we got the first satellite image of the damaged A-50 Russian AVAX airplane. So before it stayed on this part of the apron, but now was pulled to the different part. And here's the closer look. So it has the damage on the radar itself and also on the top of the fuselage out there. So it's not a significant damage, unfortunately, my friends. I hope some of the electronics and very sensitive equipment that this airplane uses for surveillance got damaged as well, but not really that dramatic as I thought. If it is the damage at all, because I told you about the very bad paint job of this airplane. It wasn't painted since the Soviet times, so it could be just the paint defects on the top of the fuselage and antenna. Who knows? So it's hard to say that 100% this airplane was destroyed. As you can see, unfortunately, it wasn't destroyed because the airplane is still in one piece. But again, it's hard to say about the internal damages because the image, the satellite image, is not a good quality. I attended a ton of airlines, Gostomel Airfield, and some of the airplanes looked intact, but then you go closer, you'll see lots of the shrapnel damage of the force elements of the fuselage, wing roots, longeron, so the airplane is totally unusable. It could be the same thing with this airplane. Absolutely fantastic news, my friends. We already got those Sky Ranger air defense systems in Ukraine. It was the interview of the head of the concern that produces those systems, and he said that those were already provided to Ukrainian army. At first we got the information about the probability of the supplies from the Rheinmetall concern in December, and now they have been delivered. I'm very surprised because before they were speaking about 1 year or 2 for the delivery. Those systems are perfect against helicopters, drones, and Russian attack airplanes and fighter airplanes that fly on a low altitudes. It has the 35mm gun that is very precise. It uses very advanced calculations, and I would say that it's the best short-range air defense system out there. So British intelligence partially confirms the information about damaged A-50 airplane in Machulishi near to Minsk, but again they relate to the Belarusian opposition resource that actually shared this information about the airplane damage, and they got this information from the eyewitnesses and spotters. Some of the military drones were spotted in the skies of the Russian big city, St. Petersburg, and the airspace was closed by the Russian officials. Later on, they claimed that it was just the exercise. Russians again tried to attack Vuhledar, this time with much less forces, just a couple of the armored vehicles with some of the soldiers. And the full video I will share on my Telegram channel. So my friends, go to the video description just below and there will be the link for my Telegram. Subscribe for me over there to be updated. And this is the occupied part of the Kherson region by the Russian Federation, and our forces destroyed something big out there, probably huge ammunition warehouse. Kind of the interesting video of the Ukrainian army. So here we have the mine delivery. Let's watch the video. Yeah, they don't have detonators, but still, I don't think it's a good way to deliver mines to the ammunition warehouse. Probably it was only the way to do it in a fast manner, but it's not great. And yesterday we got the report from the Moldovan Civil Aviation Authority. They say that Wizz Air Airlines will stop the flights to Moldova from 14th of March. I remember the same thing or similar thing happened in Ukraine, that many of the airlines stopped flying to our country, and also the companies that provided the airplanes to Ukrainian airlines say that they need their airplanes back because they worry about them. Yes, the airlines mostly do not own their airplanes. They usually lease them from the special agencies and companies. So that information is kind of concerning. Alright, here are 2 of the photos of the same airplane, Ilyushin 76 A-50 AVAX version of the Russian Federation, and you can see the differences. There are some black marks on the new photo that were out of view 10 days ago. And yes, the paint job is not good on that airplane, but it's not that severe as on this photo, so for sure something happened to that airplane. Alright, my friends, I just hope that Bakhmut holds as long as possible, causing Russians severe losses. But the main thing here is to save the lives of our soldiers, to save the army, because we need our guys for other missions. So just brace for not a good news, maybe in March, but nevertheless the war continues. Russia still strategically loses it, and there is no way out for them. My friends, now press the like to this video. Also, if you want to support my job, there are some of the links in the video description just below where you can do it, especially on the Patreon. Special thanks for those who support me there. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.